It's my 59th week in a row at my home park. Let's go get a better view. From high atop the quarry wall, you can see this week there is nothing in terms of the old dueling roller coaster, just buses loading people up. It is a Thursday, June 25th. Parking lot is not very full today. So I'm here today to enjoy the new Fiesta Luz drone show happening at 9:15, and it is already 8:15. So I'm gonna give you guys 2 days of updates here at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Over here in the Werewolf Gorge construction site with a beautiful sunset in the background. The only stake I'm noticing today that I forgot to notice last time is this one, going up the hill. I think that's where the initial launch is going to take you after it launches you down here on the flat part. It should go up the hill, and then when it goes up the hill the second time, I think it's going to cross like right there where that stake is. Really want to get a good look at this though on top of the hill. I'll probably ride Roadrunner now. And that's exactly what I did. I got in line for Roadrunner Express, and halfway through the queue, I noticed this big Acme sign that was super clean with bright red lettering. That was definitely not there a couple weeks ago. I couldn't see anything else from the queue line except this awesome trash bin, but when I was on the ride, I saw plenty of new things. Here's what I found. So no, this is not your Crack Axle Canyon curb chat. I'm gonna be back here tomorrow to do that, but I noticed so many markers up there along the rock walls next to the perimeter road, and also on the cart path, the dirt cart path behind the perimeter road, there was a marker in the middle of that as well. So a lot more stuff to see from Roadrunner Express. Then I walked past Boomerang. Okay, here's another one of those temporary perimeter fences. It's on Boomerang. That's one I was forgetting, although I think this one has been there for a couple of years. And then I saw this. Nobody, I'm sorry, there's nobody for you to squirt. And I'm gonna tell you guys about this ride because I know you're curious later on in this video. But that wasn't the only thing. In Spotsburg, you'll also be hearing about Studio 6F later on in the video. But right now, it's time to go eat something at Sangerfest Hall for the first time ever. Because it was late, I knew there wouldn't be a line, but I didn't know that there wouldn't be food either.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
I would see the same issue with the condiments as well. Oh man. So the upside of it being almost closing time is that there's no line. The bad side is that you're not gonna get the portions you want, and you may not even get the food or the condiments you want. When I went to the register, there was a family getting the last slices of pepperoni. Bruh. So that is gonna have to wait until tomorrow. And also, I could barely get any honey mustard. That's all that would come out of the machine, and all the other ones that dispense honey mustard were covered. So I got barbecue, but I will try these little chicken tenders, which are nuggets really. Although they were too small, the chicken tenders tasted great. And afterwards, it was time to go to Lone Star Lil's for the drone show. The lights are on, but nobody's home. We're all headed to Lone Star Lil's. So there is the best look at that perimeter fencing that's been put in. Just the silver fence there. Because the black fence there on the left, that ends, but the silver fence goes all the way down to the concrete on the load side of the station. I still don't know why it's there.
About to become a festival of lights.
Oh boy.
Courtesy of a few hundred drones.
This is gonna
So grab
be
your spot,
a great
look
view.
up.
I always love sitting out on the lawn here. It's the perfect way to end the night. The setting is absolutely beautiful. They got one drone up in the air. 30 seconds until the show starts. And then the drones lifted into the sky, row after row after row.
Tonight, the sky is about to become a festival of lights. So look up and let's light up the night.
Now, the drone show may not be what you are expecting. If you are going out to watch it, I just want to make sure you know what it is, what it's about. It is drones and dancing water features and projections on the quarry wall, so kind of similar to Blockbuster Blast, but without the cinematic music and without the fireworks, obviously. This whole show is centered around celebrating 250 years of America. So you see a lot of red, white, and blue colors on the drones, and you see a lot of images that deal with the United States earning its independence in 1776, and also some tributes to the Alamo and some of the accolades or accomplishments of our country, especially in the last 50 years or so. The music is more traditional, so this kind of felt like a walk down memory lane in terms of your old social studies or US history class. This is a much more quiet and tame ending to the day, so If you feel overstimulated by fireworks, or it's too much energy, or maybe you just don't like them because they're too loud, then this is more your speed. You would enjoy this more. It is a relaxing, more winding down the end of the day, whereas the fireworks show is ending with a high or a bang. This show is only sticking around through July 4th. There is going to be a different drone show occurring afterwards, and I'm going to make a whole new video about that this week, going over the different show offerings, because a lot is changing. But the new drone show after July 4th will be on select days, and it will feature a celebration of 35 years of Fiesta Texas. So that's going to be really cool to see. But overall, I saw this. I'm glad I saw it. I won't be seeing it again. I don't need to. The fireworks, now that's a show I would watch over and over again. It was obvious that there was a different mood amongst guests leaving the park compared to when the fireworks shows would be ending the night at this time, but don't worry, this vlog is far from over. We got a whole nother day to talk about, and I gotta get back to eating that Sangerfest Hall pizza one way or another so I can compare it to Primo's. And it is now Friday, June 26th. I'm at the parking lot again, but there is nothing left of that roller coaster that was getting removed, except for this motor of some sort. That, I don't even know if that went to the ride. Maybe not. But they do have a noble steed back there. A trusty pink pallet jack. Yep, that's a good one. It's crazy how fast they got that done. And now, I can tell you, someone reached out to show me a picture. They are working on removing the dueling coasters at Six Flags Over Georgia. So that should be taken care of in a matter of weeks. My second day at Fiesta Texas was also hot and sunny, as you can imagine, and I had tons of updates to catch you up on, including Bugs Whitewater Rapids and the former plot of the dueling coasters. Okay, I promised you an update on this ride behind the sign here. Let's go talk about it. Friendly reminder though that coming up later in the video, the Crack Axle Canyon Curb Chat will include some Fright Fest details. So regarding Bugs Whitewater Rapids, I have some pretty big news for you guys. So we see some equipment over here. So I've heard now from 3 people that Bugs Whitewater Rapids will not open in 2026. It will probably open spring break of 2027, but it should go through a big renovation, especially the top section right here behind me. The upper section, I'm told, should be completely rebuilt and improved. And the logs should also be greatly improved and repainted. And I know from experience, there have been times a long time ago, like 2019, when a log would dispatch the station, and as soon as it went off the conveyor belt and got in the water, it filled up with water. Like, I had to raise my feet up, and it was very strange to me what was going on. But Bugs Whitewater Rapids, unfortunately, is going to be closed the rest of the year. I'll have more information on ride closures in the Crack Axle Canyon Curb Chat, and now all of the pressure is going to be on Gully Washer for the rest of the year. And behind the scenes, I could see some of the logs getting taken apart and revitalized. So now that nothing is going on here, I feel more comfortable showing it. It is completely barren. There is nothing left except the broom and the station, steps, some of the queue line, and this perimeter fencing. That's it. All gone. And the music has been turned down. I appreciate that. Okay, it's time for redemption. Coming for you, Pepperoni Slice. This time there was a line at Sangerfest Hall, but I noticed a lot of food had been tucked away in the warmers, so there was no doubt I was getting my pizza. While it was not announced at FT92, the dancing trays are staying for 2026. Okay, the lighting's crazy in here, but that pizza looks so good. I think it looks better than Primo's. And I don't recall Primo's coming with 2 breadsticks. Look at this pizza. It's huge. Massive pizza. Let's have a bite. Look at the bottom. That's better than Primo's. I'm saying it right now. 1 bite, that's all I needed. That's better. The bread is so much better. All three things are better. Those pepperonis are larger and they taste better. The ones at Primo's are kind of burnt. The cheese, the way it's melted with, I don't know what you call it. Oh, like the burned charred spots on top. So good. And then the bread, not as thick or tough to chew. Kind of more like thin crust, I guess. I love it. Almost done, but this crust is perfect for thin crust. Just listen to it. Well, you could see it's all gone, and that was much better in every way than Primo's. Sangerfest Hall has the best chicken tendies and best pizza in the park. Now, across the way at Studio 6F, I did try to look in the windows yesterday, and it looks like nothing has been touched in about 3 weeks. So I don't know if they have paused the redo or renovation or what, but it's gonna be a big deal. There was some good news for Bugs. Now, to me, all of the sprayers look like they're in the water, not the drained part of Bugs Whitewater Rapids. So if I press this, I don't know if anything will happen. Oh, they work! Hey, that's cool. You can kind of fill the trough just by pressing this button. So at least you could interact with the ride, even if you couldn't ride it. Next, it was time to make my way through Rockville and eventually to the boardwalk to check on all of the happenings over there. And remember, I did post a video this week about one area of the park over here not being open, and I actually helped open it by getting some employees' attention. And Batman, by the way, is one ride like the drone show that I pretty much ride only once a year, and that's enough for me. But I have come to really love this ride because of how out of control and unpredictable it is. Sorry, Primos, you have been defeated. Quite easily, I should add. And just inside here at the candy store, you might recognize some characters. They got 4 different colors of M&Ms up there. And over here at the other entrance, they have Willy Wonka. Over here in the Hollywood store, I just found this shirt funny. I don't like to feel good, I like to feel evil.
An enemy has been slain.
Wait, what's that? League of Legends? Yes, League of Legends. It's Ash. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the AC at Sangerfest Hall? Perfect compared to Primo's. All right, everyone. Hopefully you learned this week from my video that went viral on social media. There are 2 entrances to the boardwalk. We're about to find out if they open both. Here we go. Now, you won't see the Crow's Nest operating today. Let's make our way to Crack Axle Canyon. Wait a minute, is that who I think it is? Oh, no way. Now, this is something you don't see every day, and I'm not talking about that guy. Got some of the directors in the park today. What's up, Sylvester? Things you only see at Six Flags. A cat riding a tiger. And now, as I made my way across the park, it was time for your favorite section of the video, the Crack Axle Canyon curb chat with a little bit of Tormenta news, Fright Fest news, and huge channel updates. So there are a couple of things to talk about today on the Crack Axle Canyon curb chat, and one of them is a big change, or a couple of changes coming to the channel, but I mentioned Fright Fest. There was an announcement from Six Flags today that 4 Cedar Fair parks, or legacy Cedar Fair parks, will be getting that special Conjuring experience again this year. I think all 4 of the parks got it last year. I think Canada's Wonderland, Cedar Point, Kings Island, and Carowinds are going to be getting, it looks like, a similar experience to last year. And all of those, remember, are a part of those 10 parks getting the investment and priority from Six Flags. So not a surprise there. We know that The Conjuring is coming back here to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, but we don't know in what capacity just yet. I mentioned over the past couple weeks that I've really wanted an alien-style house or some sort of alien theme to a house, either as the main theme or maybe just as a part of it, because remember, Cinema Slasher had kind of an alien theme last year, and Universal Studios announced just, I think, yesterday that a alien invasion themed house is coming to Halloween Horror Nights, and so that's amazing. I can't wait for that. I really want to get out to Orlando and experience that again this year. I don't know if I will yet. I'm trying, but some other things have been popping up as I'm about to talk about that make that kind of trip just, I don't know, tough decision. So there were rumors just 2 days ago that Fun Spot Atlanta would be completely demolished at the end of this year, including Air Force One, a RMC iBox track coaster that is some people's #1 credit. And I have never been there to experience that. So I was already thinking, like, maybe I should go just because these rumors, you really don't know if they're true or not. But yesterday, Fun Spot released an official statement saying that the park is closing on August 2nd. So they're really wasting no time. They are looking to get out of that park and get some kind of tax benefit from demolishing the whole thing. Now, there is a lot of speculation about what's going to happen to Air Force One because the park did not say, and so many people are kind of outraged at the thought of that roller coaster being scrapped. So people are theorizing many different parks where it could go, and I mean there's 10, 20 different parks that have been mentioned, so I really don't know, but I am planning a trip to go there, but I have not booked it just yet. So we're gonna have to wait and see. If it ends up happening, it'll be booked for sometime in July within the next week. Aside from that, I want to say that some big changes will be coming to this channel. And I'm not gonna do these style edited vlogs for very much longer. I'm gonna do live streams instead. So probably on TikTok and YouTube lives and TikTok lives. So a reason why I want to do that is just because I have so much voiceover content that I really want to get to editing. But between Thursdays and Mondays, my week is taken up by going to the park here and then editing while I'm working full time. So it's just going to be a little easier for me to focus on the live streams here at Fiesta, Texas. And also the short form content is going to change. I'm not going to post it every day. And that's because I've noticed what does well on Instagram and TikTok. And I'm going to focus on only doing that style content. And so I'm going to take a little bit more time to edit some of the stuff. And it's also going to be longer than 9 to 15 seconds long. It'll be closer to a minute. Lots of changes coming to the channel, lots of changes coming to Fiesta, Texas. I told you about Studio 6F, told you about the drone show. So many changes are coming to this park. It's clear they're going in a new direction. So I'll wave at the train, and that's all I have for you today. It is oddly quiet over here in Crack Axle Canyon next to the Werewolf Gorge teaser. I don't know if they've turned off the sound and the mechanism that makes the thumping noise, but it is quiet. So different now. Now regarding Tormenta Rampaging Run, there was that unfortunate news that the commissioning process is taking longer, so they do not have an opening date set yet, but it was seen testing on Saturday, June 27th and Sunday, June 28th. And there were 2 trains operating on Sunday. So this may be opening sooner rather than later. Hopefully, all of the bugs have been worked out. Now, the logical question is, what are those bugs I'm talking about? Well, there's a lot of rumors and speculation and stories being spread online, and I've only heard it as hearsay. The only people that I trust who have that insider information have talked about something completely different. So the only thing I'll say about that ride is when it opens, I really hope that it defeats those B&M rattle allegations, because I hate seeing all of these rides open with all of those negative comments swirling from enthusiasts that kind of ruin what the ride is and what it accomplishes. I hope that all of that is put to bed when this thing finally opens. And I do have a feeling that Six Flags is going to choose not to open it until they know that this will open to extremely positive reviews from both the GP and enthusiasts. But not all hope is lost, because the fireworks show is returning tomorrow on the 27th, on Saturday. So as of posting this, it's already happened. But Blockbuster Blast came back for the 27th, and then it's coming back again for July 3rd for one show, and then 3 shows on July 4th. That's going to be spectacular because one of the shows is the special 360-degree firework presentation. Now for special events and stuff, I will do the vlogs. So like the first night of Fright Fest or first night of Holiday in the Park, if there's a media event, yes, I'll make a vlog, edit it, upload it as a standalone video, but expect a lot of live streams from here on YouTube and TikTok. And I'm really hoping that I get to travel a little bit more because I haven't traveled at all in 2026 just yet. Anyway, if you learned nothing in today's video, just remember these 3 things. No good deed goes unpunished. Subscribe to me on YouTube because we're pushing for 200,000 subs. And when you're feeling stuck in life, like our friends at B&M always say, push down, pull up. That was another day in the Hennisphere.